And hello again, and welcome back from Tim's Shack in the Woods. Of course, I'm your host, the Juice, the man himself, Andrew McNeil. And beside me is my compatriot in crime, my co-host, my big buddy, my friend, Tomcat.
Wow.
That's right, baby. Or as we like to know him, Tom Rogers. And all the way from here in Benson, we got my friend here with the glasses, the man who looks like Clark Kent, except he let himself go. and they also call him the Newt, Tim Newton. Buddy, how are you, man?
I'm alive and willing.
Yeah, man. It's been a while,
like
brother.
Some of your victims.
It's like we're in the middle of a shack in the woods.
By the way, the police. I saw the police. They're coming, Tim.
Dang it.
It puts the lotion on his skin, or it gets the hose again, Tim. They know all about what you do around here.
I told you to stop bringing cameras.
Dadgummit. Recording devices. Anyway, guys, we're here to talk about the Dawn of Justice, because there's been a lot of just bad press on Dawn of Justice and the DC movie universe as a whole. But before we get into that, me and Tom did a wrestling podcast, but before we did this, we would kind of like to do our condolences on three wrestlers, and that's Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Chavo Guerrero Sr., and of course Ivan Koloff, who he was we're Christians, and he was a big Christian. He helped out a lot of people. And he was just a really cool guy. All three of them were really good guys, from what I can hear or understand. And they're going to be sorely missed. And they were a treasure to the wrestling community. And we would just like to say we do mourn their passing, so forth. Guys, do you have any memories about these wrestlers? You want to?
Jimmy Snuka was before my time, but there probably wouldn't be high-flying antics if it weren't for him. He was the first one to jump off a steel cage.
Well, it's a known fact that Mick Foley, we wouldn't have had the hardcore legend Mick Foley if he didn't basically skip. I forgot exactly what happened to him, but he went down to that match where Jimmy Superfly Snuka jumped off that cage, and that inspired him. And that's what these three men did. They inspired our next generation of wrestling. And Ivan Koloff, he was a guy that, from what I can understand, he was a very nice fella. He was willing to put people over, and he helped out the next generation. And, of course, Chavo Guerrero Sr., he was also I do not know much about him, but I do know that he kept the L.A. territory open with Piper. Those two basically made business to where that territory stayed open. And, he raised an awesome son, because I love Chavo Guerrero, and I just... he was awesome in WCW. So, I mean, like I said, we do mourn these wrestlers lost. Newton, you got anything you would like to say about it?
I'm kind of like Tom. I don't have much. I just remember that some of the playbacks, and remember in some of the documentaries I watched, saying about how Superfly was the first to go off. They didn't want him going the top rope because they didn't want him to get hurt. And
really, with Snuka, guys, we also got to admit that, he was really a big star. He was a really big star. If you think about it, he didn't really win that many titles, I don't think. Mm-mm. But he was a big star in his own right, and he hung out with Hulk Hogan. So that's got to mean something. I mean, that's got to be something for you.
Wherever you plan on flowing that stone, where you like Hogan.
Yeah. But that being said, we are sorry for their passing. But that being said, let's go back to what we're here to talk about, and that's the Dawn of Justice, or the DC movie universe.
Batman v Superman.
The matchup of the century, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight rises before everyone gets old.
Or, as I like to call it, Superman can't sell a movie by himself, so we're going to put Batman in it. That's what I thought this movie was supposedly or trying to do.
Even with the animated movies, Justice
I'll say this, and I'll make this. I respect Batman. I don't like Batman.
Well, I think Batman is kind of okay, and what I'm about to say, everyone's like, Superman's unrealistic. I think Batman's unrealistic for a human being. Matter of fact, I think he should be a meta, because if he was a meta, it could explain a whole lot of his history.
Or at least his brain power.
Yes, I mean, it really would. You think about it. I mean, it's just, to me, it's crazy that everybody, some of the stuff he can do is nuts. And some of the stuff he's done in the comics. Like, guys, I remember when Grant Morrison, he had a rocket ship in Gotham, and that thing went off, and not one person went up to Wayne Manor. Come on, guys. I mean, it's crazy.
I think it even looked like a bat rocket.
It was a bat rocket, but that's Grant Morrison for you. But I digress. And plus, Batman, how many years? Okay, Batman was gone, what, 10 years, 20 years how long was Batman gone for when he basically left to start training and to start becoming Batman? I think it was, what, 20 years?
From teenage years to, like,
yeah.
Because he became Batman was early to mid 20s from understanding.
That's right, and he went around the world and he was learning fighting styles. I think it was, what, 20 years? He had 20 years to learn fighting styles and stuff.
I mean, he learned multiple styles. I mean, he's considered the most lethal and deadly of all heroes.
But the thing, my problem with that is it takes people years, like sometimes to master one type of fighting style. And to me, it just never really made any sense. And I mean, and Batman they've also written Batman into a point where he can beat anybody if he wants to. He's so prepared. And I just think sometimes that's kind of nuts too.
I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole West thing.
Yeah.
Like, they've always made the joke, it's like Batman's always prepared.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, just because you do not have a nuclear fission thing just because we need that item at the exact time.
Why in your world did you bring your shark repellent today?
I don't know. I saw Jaws and I kind of got scared. I'm just saying. But that's my main beef with Batman. And I was a huge Batman fan, guys. And then I basically just got tired of it. I read so much Batman, I was like, okay, I get it. The guy's awesome. But, I'm going to go over to Superman. And mainly I did it because a lot of people don't like Superman, I don't think.
I mean, he's still one of the most recognized symbols, like, ever.
In the world.
I mean, no matter how big the Marvel comics or film industry is ever going to be, the Superman symbol is going to be the most universally known symbol ever.
Ever, yeah. I mean, you can go to a different country with the S, and people knows what that is.
Okay, he's in countless songs and pop culture.
I mean, it's.
How many songs does Batman have?
I don't know. Is it just I'm Batman?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't.
He does have a new song in the Lego movie.
Oh, he does. Okay, yeah. But I mean, like, you think about it. Like, Five for Fighting did a song from him.
Are we actually going to Superman references? Pocket full of kryptonite. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy, but
you don't step on Superman's cape.
Yeah.
Let's not go. Please stop the
But that's what I'm saying. Like, people just don't like Superman. It seems to me, and it seems like, and I've always made this comment. I felt like that if the DC universe lost Superman, and Tim, you may not like this comment, but I think it's true. If they lost Superman, they could probably survive because they have Batman. But if they lost Batman, if the DC universe lost Batman,
it probably would sink.
It would sink, and to me that is a shame. And DC Universe, if you're listening to this, you shouldn't build your company on one character.
Well, it's not just about what they do; it's also about what the people want.
That's right.
I mean, people want Batman, but I mean, Superman is also known as the goody two shoes, always doing the right thing.
Yeah. And
we're living in a day and era where the goody two shoes isn't wanted.
Yeah.
Because if you drive by a wreck, people look.
It really is. I mean, human beings, I think they do have a dark side. And Batman, I know, has gotten into a lot more video games and stuff like that, and now more people kind of know about him. But it's crazy to me that how much people just don't care about Superman. And I know a lot of people's beats. A lot of people are like, "Well, Superman is so strong. He can fly. He can do this. Blah blah blah. Yakety smackety. Batman rules. Batman rules. Batman rules."
And I urge you, if you've ever played Superman 64, don't
see, I think that's the worst problem. Superman is overpowered. Superman is that great, but how can you truly relate that to video? How can you truly relate that to a game where you can play? Where it's like because the whole thing is he's having to hold back. You can never be as powerful as Superman.
That's right. And I just think, and I think there was, and there's some things that were lost in Superman versus Batman with Superman. I think they could have done some more stuff with him. But guys, let's go on ahead and let's jump into the movie. So,
okay.
All right. So we're going to jump into the movie itself. But yes, please, Tom's comment about Superman 64, please don't.
Don't. Batman 64, I'm sorry. It was Superman 64.
It was terrible. Yeah. But anyway.
I still own it.
But this is my thing too, and I want to say this about the universe too. I think people, and I also think we fans have also been spoiled by these movies too. We have forgotten the era of Steel and Spawn and everything else.
I actually like Spawn. Still was bad.
Yeah, but I mean,
Catwoman.
yeah, I mean, we lived
forever.
I mean, we had an era where there were no superhero movies other than Batman and Superman. And I think people have forgotten that era. I haven't forgot that era. I remember that era.
Superman #1 is still considered one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Yeah, but do you remember when Spider-Man came out? And do you remember how, I remember...
We're talking about Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, the first Spider-Man movie. I remember when me and Tom and my other cousin Tim, we saw that movie, and we freaked the heck out. We said, they finally did it. They finally made a movie. They can finally do it now. We can finally see things. And honestly, they don't even give credit to Blade, who really was the Kickstarter to what now the superhero age in the movies.
And he was also the first rated R, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that movie made money.
Punisher.
Well, no. Blade. I think Blade was rated R because that was a pretty violent movie. I mean, it was. I think he chopped off someone's head and stuff. I mean,
not that they didn't try in the past, but the original Captain America. Oh my god!
Well, technology caught up.
Yeah, and even with Lucas in the Star Wars films, it's like he wanted technology to catch up before he made 1, 2, and 3, but it didn't quite go over so well.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying.
I can finally make Jar Jar.
Oh no! Oh no!
Let's not go there.
These are going to ruin a whole franchise anyway. But that's what I'm saying though. I think we as the fans have too much to complain about now. Like it seems like we take the little nitpick things and we're like, and we focus on that. And I know the DC universe is now actually trying to play catch up. They're always trying to play catch up. But I don't think we have to do that. And I mean, and Tim, you even asked me a comment tonight, but even before we started filming, you said, what would we feel if the Marvel people who were doing the Marvel movies came over and did DC?
Because I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I know you guys are bigger fans than I am.
I was a Marvel fan. I'm now a huge DC fan.
I'm an X-Men fan.
But
yeah,
I mean, but I'm one of those people that believes the X-Men or Fox is doing good with X-Men.
Oh yeah,
I'm a person that believes that the first Fantastic Four movies weren't horrible.
No, and I'm a fan. I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan.
I like the original. I didn't like.
Yeah,
but I'm just a fan of in general. I'm a fan of everything, and I try to look at everything from neutral eyes. I mean, that's always what I try to do. So even when I try to review Batman v Superman, I try to review it as neutral as I possibly can.
Yes.
But overall, if the Marvel people did the DC movies, number one, I think they would come out faster.
That's right.
In a better order, because I don't think the Justice League should even be on the market yet. I think it should do exactly what Marvel did. Introduce all your characters first with their own movies, Flash, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and then give them Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think the second movie with Superman should have had to have Batman. Superman can sell his own movies, and I just don't understand why they did that. But it's, again, they're trying to play catch up.
I mean, you can give Iron Man 3 movies, but you can't give Superman 3 movies?
Oh, no, Man of Steel 2 is planned. It's just we don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
by the time we finally actually get another true Superman sequel, it's probably going to be another actor.
Yeah. Which I like the guy who's doing Superman right now.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah,
3% body fat.
Yeah. Rock on, man. Rock on. But anyway, let's
get where he lives too and how.
Yeah, I only stalk him regularly.
Hey, Mr. Cavill, I'm here.
Maybe send him a little invitation to your cabin in the woods.
I can be
only every day.
Only every day. Dadgummit. But anyway, so with the movie itself, and I don't think a lot of people notice this. Mr. Snyder, what's his name? Zack Snyder.
Scott. Is it Snyder?
I think it's Zack.
I think it's Zack.
It's a Snyder.
Zack Snyder, if you look at the movie itself, I see what a lot of people don't see, and I think he tried to basically mix 3 kind of comic story arcs in this one movie to get all of it in.
Of course, one being Dark Knight Rises.
That's right. Or the Dark Knight Returns, excuse me.
then the Doomsday Death of Superman.
And Injustice, because it kind of feels, Injustice feels...
Injustice is darker.
Yeah, it kind of feels like he tried to go that route.
But Dark Knight Rises is already a dark storyline.
Yes, it is. And I mean, and like I said, there are certain things that I want you guys to kind of understand when we talk about this. There's a lot of things. I mean, this movie, to me, even before it was even watched, people hated this movie. It's almost like they already tried it and they hung it before they even saw the movie, man.
Man, they were listening, even before the critics even have it. It was getting the most horrible reviews on, what's your say?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes was already giving it the worst rating before the movie was even watched. But the first showing, when they actually brung in fans to see it, they had nothing but good things to say.
And let's not even forget when they announced Ben Affleck was going to be Batman. God help me,
because everyone saw Daredevil and thought, "Oh my God, we're still going to get that."
Yeah,
but it's like last I checked, he actually won an Oscar.
He did,
because he's gotten better.
Dang right. If you've never seen Argo or The Town, you're missing out, because he does a good job. And there was a lot of people who told me all he can do is play Irish gangsters. That is not true, man. He does got acting chops. This guy can do a good job, and my personal fault of the Batman, his performance of Batman, I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I think he did. I mean, I really think that over the years he has become an actual respectable actor.
Yeah, instead
of just being that guy that used to hang out with Matt Damon.
That's right. or the guy from the Kevin Smith movies. I mean, it's I think he's also growing from not just an actor. He's got multiple things that he can do now. I think he was director, right?
Yeah, he directed Argo
and The Town. And yeah, so I mean, and this guy's got multiple facets. And I want to tell you something. He beefed up for this part. I mean, if you noticed him, in this movie, he's jacked. He's super jacked in this movie.
Oh, and that's even one of the things they even made fun of with one of the memes or memes, however you want to pronounce it, that went around. Is that Marvel, when they want to prep for a role, they read the comic books. When DC, they just get jacked up.
Yeah, and folks, I gotta say this: Ben Affleck is a huge comic book fan. He's a huge comic book fan,
and that's why he wants to do the Batman solo film.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that was part of his deal. I mean, this guy is going to be doing Batman, and it's what's cool I like about Ben Affleck is he's basically telling the fans it's not going to be the same old villains. I'm not going to just do Joker. I'm going to do a brand new thing of villains. I'm going to try to, we're going to give us some new stuff, and I think that's cool.
They can kind of bring back some things that, like, I think they should bring back Two-Face. But like I said, we're talking about Batman solo films.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, the beginning of this movie, everyone already hated. They already hated Ben Affleck, and I kept telling, and everyone kept telling me, "Have you seen Daredevil? Daredevil and Batman are the same characters." No, they're not. Daredevil was a lot darker than Batman.
I want to go ahead and make another stance.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Daredevil.
That's like saying you're
going to judge. Really.
That's like you're going to judge George Lucas of Howard the Duck. That's not fair.
I like that.
It was an 80s guilty pleasure. What can you say?
It's kind of like Super Mario Brothers. People hate it. I still like it. I don't know what it was.
Plus, what was her? I forgot what her name was. It Lee Thompson, or whatever?
Oh yeah,
man,
Leah Thompson.
Whew, still looks good, man. Back to the Future forever. Anyway, guys. But let's talk about some of the things that a lot of people, were trying to say. Now, I heard a lot of complaints about people not understanding this movie. It got to the point where I was just like, guys, what in the world are you doing? Are you sleeping in the movie theater? I mean, what are you doing? You text on your phone?
I thought the storyline was very straightforward.
Yeah.
The only thing I might see would be confusing is if you didn't know the Flash could time travel. That was the only thing.
Oh, during that double dream sequence?
Yeah, if you didn't know that Flash couldn't time travel, if he's standing in front of a glowing tube, what do you think it is? It's like...
Well, I don't even think it's that. The Flash time traveling is... they're also changed his costume for the movie, so when they did the dream sequence, we didn't know who Flash was because they didn't even show who Flash is when they did it.
No, they were kind of doing a glimpse of Flash.
And like I said, it looked like he had armor on top of his costume.
Yeah.
And it just didn't look right. I was still to this day like, Are you sure that's Flash?
And I will say this, and some of the dream sequences were kind of weird because you didn't know you were in a dream. Matter of fact, there's a point where Batman, he's in that long coat and he's walking in the desert.
Oh, the nightmare.
Yeah, and you see, of course, the Omega symbol.
Superman shows up, and it's got soldiers. That part's easy enough to understand. Superman took over the world.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, the Omega symbol. I mean, it's there, and to see, and to some fans, of course, DC fans can spot that, and I can understand. You're like, well, what are these? It's just like the first part of this movie. You see the parents of Bruce Wayne. They're having the funeral, and you see Bruce Wayne run into the cave. He falls down to the hole, and all of a sudden these bats, they start twirling around him, and he starts levitating.
Yeah, that was kind
of okay. And I was and I was kind of like, and I was sitting in the theater going, what in the crud is going on here? Are the wind from the bats bringing him up? What is this?
It's bat guys.
And then all of a sudden, boom, it's a dream. And I can understand that may be confusing, but this movie was, it was not that confusing, and really all the parts are there. I mean, they even tell you why Batman don't like Superman. I mean, I thought I liked that they went back into the first movie and they showed that Bruce Wayne's in the city and Bruce Wayne sees all the destruction going on in Metropolis.
I thought the connection to Man of Steel was really good.
Yes,
I like how they did that.
Yeah, but even the whole thing about why didn't Superman fight him outside the city? It's like I think he tried. It's just there was a lot of collateral damage. He just couldn't help it.
Yeah,
he couldn't overpower Zod enough to get him outside the city. He had to fight Zod.
Zod wanted to.
Yeah,
and he wanted to destroy the city.
Oh yeah, and Zod also.
And Superman couldn't just knock his ass out and drag him outside the city and then fight him.
And we're talking about
let's take this outside, sir.
And plus, Zod is a highly trained soldier.
Well, actually, he could have did that in Superman too.
Yeah,
like stuck outside.
But
he still destroyed part of the city when he fought the General Zod and Superman too.
Yeah. And also, and that's the thing, and little things I think were missed in this movie that a lot of the fans just either they didn't care or it was DC, so they were just going to go on ahead and put the thumbs down. Like there's one comment where he's talking to Alfred, and this is a very big comment. He says, "I've been doing this for 20 years." Now, understand, people, that's 20 years. So, in other words, he just didn't become Batman overnight. This guy has been Batman for 20 years, and he's already got to the point where this is where the Dark Knight Returns comes in, where he's like, no matter how many criminals I take out or how many criminals I put in prison, they're always going to come back out, and I'm still going to have the same problem, and I'm not going to do what I was able to promise. The promise I made, I was not going to be able to keep it. And so what happens in Dark Knight Returns, if you read it, he's an old man, and he basically says, enough's enough. I'm just going to start killing people. I'm going to start taking the criminal element out. Because that was another big problem I heard from the fans. Oh, Batman's marking his villains. He's killing them and all this stuff.
He didn't kill him. He just knew that that it was like a sign that you snitched, and that as soon as you went to prison, they would kill you.
Yeah, and everyone's like, Batman wouldn't do that. Batman doesn't kill. Guys,
if you actually read the comics,
if Batman is willing to murder Superman because he thinks he's a friend, what do you think he's going to do to a couple of thugs that have already proven to be a threat?
But if you actually go back and read the comic books, Batman has gone down some dark paths, and he has killed people before, not through direct involvement, but he is killed by making a bullet blow up in a person's face. It's like Batman has a body count much higher than Superman's.
Oh yeah, and there's even one storyline where Batman got on the Venom. He got on drugs, and he was as strong as Bane. You don't think he wasn't killing people when he's throwing people around like Bane was, breaking their necks and stuff?
Or making them quadriplegic.
Yeah,
that's almost like killing.
Yeah, I mean,
they still live.
Yeah,
it's like no, that's not really living, sir.
And that was like, and again. I just don't think I think people just came into this movie and they're just like we're going to run it down even before we watch it, and then see, this is also something I like about the interpretation of the movie, and I want to get with Superman right now. If there was a Superman running around right now in our world, I think how it happened in the movie would be exactly how we would take it. we would not see this man as a savior. We would see this guy as
alien invasion.
That's right. What's this guy going to do when he gets mad with us?
I mean, that's part of the reason why even in Man of Steel, how he kept trying, how Jonathan Kent kept trying to tell his son, it's like the world is probably not going to accept you.
Yeah,
it's like you don't owe them anything.
That's right.
It's like you don't have to be their. Or I think Martha
Kent's
like, it's like you don't have to be their savior.
That's right. You don't have to do with this.
It's like if you want to do it because you want to.
Don't necessarily do it.
Don't do it for them. Do it for yourself.
But it's to me, it's crazy, and of course, and they handled it so well because there's one scene I want, and I want to say this too. There's one scene that I wish they would have went a little bit further on is when he actually goes to Washington and he has to answer for his supposed crimes, and he never really gets the answer because in the movie, the big boom, the blow up goes up. But I actually wanted to see Superman go, hey, I want him to answer these questions. I wanted to see what Superman was going to say to the world.
Actually, yeah.
And I think they missed out on that part.
And the other thing I kind of hated was during the extended version, they actually went over the whole thing about Superman not being able to see through lead, and that the wheelchair actually was lead lined.
Yeah, I mean, in the extended version, I think they did have some parts they should have put in there. I think that's with any movie, there's some parts that could have explained it a little bit more. But of course they just, they cut him out.
Plus, Superman may not be looking for a bomb, if he's not actively looking for the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, but we know, but like I know Superman comics. Superman always looks.
That's right.
Superman is always checking around for things. I mean, he could probably because I like the saying that Superman can actually hear every heartbeat on Earth, and he can always discern which one's Batman's. So when he walks into that room, I guarantee you he could hear a chemical reaction. If he was, because lead lining doesn't stop the sound; it only stops the sight.
And my next thing I want to talk about is, of course, Lex Luthor. Now to me, this guy was the problem, I think, with the movie itself. I did not like their interpretation of Lex Luthor. I just did not like this guy. He was too silly. He acted like the Joker, in my opinion.
I think it was just the actor, not the necessary role he played. Because Lex Luthor is a brilliant scientist. He is a brilliant man. He wants to be the best man of mankind.
That's right. He wants to be Superman, but he can't.
And he hates the idea of Superman being considered the best man because he's not even a man. He's an alien.
He's an alien.
But I don't hate the actor. Really.
That's right.
I just think they just miscast it.
Yes.
I don't see. Then this is my opinion. I don't think they've ever really done Lex Luthor right in any movies that I've ever seen him.
Yeah, because even people who like the recent Superman movies with Gene Hackman, it's like, I'm sorry, that's not really.
He doesn't care about land, folks. I'm sorry. In my opinion, Lex Luthor in the comic books, he's the guy that you're not going to catch legally because he has three other guys who basically did his crime, and it's not going to go back to Luthor. It's never going to go back to Luthor. Superman knows who did it, but he cannot go up there and he cannot prove that Lex Luthor is the bad guy. I mean, that's the Lex Luthor I know and love because he don't get caught, But and there were some rumors. I think Tom, you were about to say this about the Alexander Luthor stuff. Were you? All right. A lot of people said that this wasn't Lex Luthor. This was Alexander Luthor. This is the son of Lex Luthor.
Alexander, wasn't he? Was the older brother of Luthor in Earth 2?
No, he's actually the son. In the alternate universe, he was the son of Lex Luthor, and they're saying that this is not Lex Luthor. This is his kid, and that's why he's acting completely different from the Lex Luthor we all know and love. That's what a lot of fans said. I don't think the people who made this movie thought that long about it. In my opinion, I think it is what it is. I think that's Lex Luthor, and that's what their interpretation of him was. And I don't know.
It's kind of where Zach kind of went a little further than he had to, and he should have just kind of went with the good old basic Lex Luthor that is a mad scientist and brilliant.
Yeah, and
I had no problem with them using Kryptonian technology to bring back Zod.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest complaints, as well as the whole introduction of Doomsday and using General Zod to make him Doomsday.
And with that introduction, let's actually go into Doomsday. Now, on screen, I thought he looked cool, and they did try to put little elements of the New 52 of Doomsday in it. If you remember the New 52 with that Doomed comic, in my opinion, that's what they tried to do.
And for anyone who doesn't know Doomsday, he was created on early Krypton before Krypton was Krypton. And created by a scientist to be the ultimate killing machine. And pretty much anything ever used to kill him or weaken him, he grew more stronger. He grew stronger and created a resistance to it. So, because in Superman Doomsday Hunter Prey, the second time Superman fought him, he uses a sound gun against him, and Doomsday immediately grew bones out to prevent the sound. It's and I can see that happening. I know they wanted to make it in the movie. I think that's with the whole energy wave that he released.
Yeah.
Because he was just becoming stronger. I just kind of wish they did that a little better and not making a whole energy blast out of it.
And plus, when the first time you see Doomsday in the movie, he looks like the guy from the Doomed comic, because he don't got the bones coming out of his skin. It seems like the more the fight goes on, the more bones he grows and stuff like that. But in Doomsday also, I want you guys to understand this, Doomsday knocked Darkseid out. He almost killed.
No, he did. He killed, in Superman Doomsday Hunter Prey, he killed Darkseid, but Superman used a mother box to save him.
Yeah, so, he beat the devil out of Darkseid. You can beat up Darkseid, folks. You're a pretty mean customer. And really in the comic books, Superman didn't kill Doomsday.
He just knocked him out.
He just knocked him out. So you think about that, guys. And I don't hate the way they brought in Doomsday. I really had no problem with it.
I just kind of wish they kind of more set it up for another movie.
Yeah.
Because Doomsday just wasted like that on a 15-minute battle sequence.
Yeah.
It just.
And they kind of changed stuff too because they made Kryptonite affect him. And really, you could have had.
I'd say if it was really Doomsday, as soon as you try to use it against him, his body would automatically build up a resistance to it.
Yeah. So it was what it was, but I thought visually,
But
he was
this is
cool.
the whole thing. This is not the true Doomsday. This is General Zod as a freak experiment.
Yeah.
It's almost like a clone.
Yeah.
At least it didn't screw it up as bad as it did in Deadpool and Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Well, the ending scene, he actually got a mouth open.
And that's something else too. When I walked in to see this movie, I kind of was expecting the worst. And when I came out, I was very pleasantly surprised. And that's what I'm saying. This movie does have, to me, great qualities. And if people would give it a chance, it would be great. And I also think another big problem that a lot of people had too, guys, was they stuck so much information into this one movie. They packed in all this information.
Even Dark Knight Rises, it was four issues, four trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
And it was 2 movies on the cartoon, on the animated cartoon.
Well, see, this is what happened. There was actually there was one trade for the Dark Knight Returns or whatever
First one.
The first one, but they kept expanding on the story. Now, 2 I heard was terrible. I've never read the comic books, guys, but I heard that was pretty bad. But yeah, they had to do 2. They had to do 2 versions for that one darn book. So
they did keep doing these huge storylines because I think the Superman versus Doomsday alone went through 12 books?
It was huge. Yes, actually, if you think about it, guys, they've done the death. They kind of done the death and the mourning of Superman. The only thing they haven't done is the return of Super. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this is another where DC's missing out because they're going to miss on the entire Reign storyline. It was Cyborg, Superboy, Steel, and Eradicator.
And in my opinion, I think that should be the next movie. If you want to go off these movies, I think you should do a movie just about that.
Yeah, but they're already going Rebirth.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that because they did the whole shaking casket thing.
Yeah, so, it's coming, but I think literally what happened was they just put a lot of stuff in this. And this is, again, is DC trying to catch up with Marvel. But what DC needs to realize, guys, if you want something done right, do it slower. Do it better. Fine-tune it.
I think that Man of Steel was paced well. And I think the Suicide Squad was paced well. and I think they just tried to cram too much into Batman versus Superman.
In my
And
opinion,
all
I
three of
do.
those movies are connected. I think the middle is very rushed. It's not bad, but it's rushed. And I thought the other two movies were better paced.
And I guess we should go ahead and talk about the last real negative point is the whole Martha thing.
And I have heard, and guys, I'm going to tell you, I've heard so much crud about this. I cannot tell you how many people. But guys, I want you to understand this. You know, and this is how I kind of see it in this movie. And by the way, the actual Batman versus Superman fight, I thought went very well. It didn't make Superman look like a wimp, and it didn't make Batman look like a bad
Superman
boy.
wasn't trying to kill him. He was only trying to stop him.
That's right.
Because he said it at the very beginning of the fight. If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead already. I mean, it's true for the fact. If Superman wanted him dead, he won't even have to try.
Yeah.
I mean, because even Superman can narrow his heat vision so much you can't even tell he's using it and do microscopic brain surgery through your eye.
Yeah. So
I mean, of course they didn't do this for the movie and made his heat vision light up his entire face, break it half.
Yeah.
But overall, the whole save Martha.
Yeah.
It's like why wouldn't you just say save my mom?
Yeah. You know.
That's like and say her name's Martha Kent.
And I have a friend who said, and I have a friend who's like, so what? So let me get this straight. So basically, a thug, Batman's beating up on a thug, and the thug's like, he what does he say? He say like his girlfriend's name is Martha, and he says Martha, and Batman's gonna stop beating on the thug and go, wait a minute, you have a girlfriend named Martha? You know, my mom was named Martha too. You know,
it's like we have things in common. Best friends forever. Yeah.
I liked how they did that. I know you're the only person that liked it.
No.
Just like my girlfriend's the only person.
I liked how the fact Superman was dying. The last thing he thought of was for his mom. I thought that was sweet.
But it was like people don't say. It's like my mom's name is Shirley. I would if I'm dying, I wouldn't say Shirley. I would say Mom.
But
but overall, he should have said, "Please, if you're going to kill me, please say my mom."
And guys, I also think maybe they were doing the Martha thing because maybe they were showing that Batman's got all this darkness and like a little bit of light. You know, it's just like that word kind of gave him a little bit of light and kind of made him see.
And throughout the entire movie, you can tell that he was lingering on his parents.
Yeah.
Especially the whole dream sequence where they were burying, where they were at the funeral. So he misses his parents. I mean, he's really dark time, and that's why he's so dark himself and killing people.
Yeah, I mean,
branding.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I think people missed a lot of clues in this movie as into how much story they really put into this. Just the little clues in this movie could have got through to people. You know, but
well, that's why I kind of like the extended as well because the few scenes they did put in
did help it out.
It did help. It paced it a little better.
It
made more sense.
It did. And you also got to see, like, I think they also tried to tie up more about, you know, the people that were up against Superman, why they were up against Superman, and stuff like that. You know, who's going to his trial.
Yeah, but so much for the negative stuff. Let's talk about positive influences this movie did.
To me, I just really enjoyed. I think they hit Batman on the head. I think they did a really good job with Batman.
And they did a good job with Wonder Woman.
Yes, Wonder Woman I thought was excellent, and I know a lot of people complained about her. She's too skinny and all this, but
I still put my foot down. I still don't like her.
But I think she'll do a good job, don't you think? But don't you think, for what you saw, she did a pretty good job as Wonder Woman? Yeah.
I mean, if again, my girlfriend was here.
And Wonder Woman can be a very corny character. If you don't believe me, look at the '77 show.
Well, let me ask you this: What did Casey think of Wonder Woman in the movie?
So
she loves Wonder Woman. She was all about it.
Yeah.
She was kind of head tilting when we first heard about it, but because I don't think Gal Gadot has ever picked up a Wonder Woman comic in her life.
No, she probably hasn't.
And because she was talking about the real Amazons and how they cut off the boobs and stuff, and it's like, do you know anything about Wonder Woman?
Yeah. So,
but I hope that she more understands it as she goes. I don't know about this whole she's infinite amounts of years old because she fought in World War II with the new movie, but
That's World War One, I think.
Is it World War
That's
One?
World War One.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because I'm sorry, Diana's not that old. It's like her mom fought back then.
But I think they're just. But you know what? And see, I don't mind them doing little things like that.
A little different.
And on something else, on another note, the Justice League itself. I don't think the Justice League was bad in the movie. How they introduced the characters. I've also heard that was a bad one too.
They're not really introducing them, but little video clips.
They're like, that's stupid. I don't know how many times I heard.
But why in the world does Lex Luthor already have symbols for them?
Yeah, I know.
Or
Code names.
Especially for Flash.
Yeah.
And so Lex Luthor already knows.
He knows.
Which more likely means he already knows Clark Kent is Superman. He already knows Batman is Bruce Wayne.
If you would deduce that, yes. And something else that I think something else they missed out on too at the end of the movie, and guys, this is the big one too. At the end of the movie, you see that Lex Luthor might not have been working on his own against this. You know, in the Marvel universe, you know that Thanos, they're going to go after Thanos.
Yeah.
In the DC universe, you know what they're going to do. They're going to fight.
We're going to fight Darkseid.
We're going to fight Darkseid. And so, I've never seen the ending credits. To be honest with you, I've never seen the ending credit scenes. But all I do know is that at the end of the movie, he says the bell's already been rung. It's too late. And I think they said like they bust in on him, and there's basically like, apocalypse stuff around him.
Plus the Omega symbol during the nightmare.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, yes, this is what we're going to be going against.
That's right. And you saw parademons in the dream too. The parademons coming down on him. So I mean, but I thought that was done well. The movie itself, I thought it stayed true to most of the characters in there. And actually, I didn't mind half the people who they picked for the Justice League parts.
I mean, so far the guy they chose for Cyborg.
Looks good.
I actually think it looks really good.
Yeah.
For this
Aquaman looks badass from
the whole
the
part
90s version.
I actually really like Jason Momoa, the guy who's playing the character.
You've seen him in Game of Thrones, and he did a good job.
Game of Thrones, I loved him in Stargate Atlantis.
I wish I would have gave him another shot at another Conan movie because I thought he was great in that.
But overall, even I liked him as Jason when he did Baywatch.
yeah.
But overall, it's like I think him doing the whole.
You like to see him right on the beach, Tim?
But we're also keep in mind it's like even Aquaman is not really accepted by land, he's not accepted by sea, but he always tries to help people one way or the other.
That's right.
But Flash, I'm kind of worried about his costume a little. But I'm the kid who does it. It looks more like an impulse more than a berry.
Yeah. And FYI,
or a Wally instead of a berry.
And FYI, comic book people out there, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, also, I heard complaints also of they're copying DC's copying Marvel because of that. In the new trailer for the new Justice League movie, Batman shows up to Flash and he says, I'm making a team, and Flash goes, I'll join. Kind of like a young hero and an old hero, and they said, well, they're copying Captain America and Spider-Man. No, folks, they're not copying them. They have a right to do that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. People act like Marvel has the rights to all this stuff, but they just don't realize how much,
The thing is, if you're starting to play baseball, your goal would be the major leagues. So what if you knew you were good enough and you just started doing it and all of a sudden the major leagues showed up? You'd say yes in a heartbeat. That's why these young people are saying yes.
Yeah.
They're getting invited to the major leagues early.
Yeah, but I kind of want to compare DC to Marvel on this aspect. Marvel owns most of the rights to all their movies. The only thing they really don't contain is Mutants, which is Fox, and Spider-Man, which they're actually got a deal now with Sony.
Yes.
But Marvel is behind everything. DC is using Warner Brothers for everything. They're not in full control of what they're doing. And I think that's one of the biggest things. Now, I heard Jeff Johns is actually going to be helping out all the movies from now on.
Well, I think he needs to, because I think Jeff Johns, if you ask any comic book fan of the modern era right now, they would say point to him.
He's one of the best writers.
Yeah, they would point to him because if you put his name on a comic book, the people are going to read it.
He's got a hunt like it's not.
Yeah, Blackest Night, Green Lantern.
He brought back Aquaman from obscurity. I mean, because that was he said he wanted to make a better Aquaman, and he did it.
Did he do Flashpoint?
I think he did.
I know he did
the
rebirth of Flash.
Yeah. Oh, and that was another storyline they did in this movie. They were actually pointing to the Flash They also try to do like a little Flashpoint thing, I think, as well. But I digress. But yes, and that's a good thing. I think John should kind of be on top of this stuff, you know. Um, but again, and that's another myth that Tim was talking about. Do you guys honestly believe that every like movie star who works for a Marvel movie reads the Marvel comic books for like?
Well, I know like a lot of them do. Like the guy playing Captain America loves the idea of Captain America. He never wants to stop.
Yeah, and
But I don't know if Olsen, the girl playing Scarlet Witch, is ever.
that's what I'm saying. I did hear that. I did hear the girl who played Black Widow.
The guy playing Doctor Strange read the comics.
Okay, I did see, and I don't really know, but so
Cavill, he read Superman comics.
yeah, I mean,
like because I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the picture of him holding Action Comics #1
yeah,
while he's like in costumes. Like he understands.
he understands, and that's what I'm saying. I think people just missed the. I think people have focused so much on Marvel. Marvel was the cool new thing that they don't even want to even want to take time and look at DC because Marvel was the cool. It's the cool brand new toy, and
yeah, but now they're starting to run out of steam because they don't have much left.
They don't.
It's like they're going to have to get an all new cast eventually because I'm sorry. Yes, we will still keep watching them, but they're not. The stories are going to go down because they don't want to have any more villains to fight because they fought them all and killed them all.
And guys, I'm going to also say this: if you read a Marvel to DC comic, I want to say this. I think DC kind of beats Marvel in comic books. If you talk about storylines and all that, from the rumors I've heard right now, Marvel, the comic books right now, they're not really that good, guys. I mean, they've kind of lost their way. I mean, they just do random big events. And I mean,
I've always liked the stories with the X-Men. The bigger stuff with Avengers, I can care less about.
Well, I think X-Men is, or the Marvel stuff is also a lot cheaper to film. It's like they're more human.
Yeah.
They don't require any more near these special effects.
I think they will, and I think that was the reason why it took Marvel a long time to get into the game because they did need effects for some of the stuff. But
overall, but looking at Batman v Superman, it's like it was dark. I mean, I wish they'd take off the grit filter.
Yes,
because I'm pretty sure some people have seen the video online that shows Man of Steel without the filter.
Yeah,
and because his costume is actually brighter than it really is.
Oh my!
So it is actually a lighter blue.
Oh, that's cool. I never really saw that.
And I really wish they'd actually brighten his costume more.
Yeah.
And I know he's going to be wearing the black suit in the next movie, just because that's
that. And then, by the way, I love that suit. I love that.
Black suit with a silver shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think even for this one, they're making the shield black. It's kind of like a gray on gray.
I kind of wish they would let him grow out his hair a little bit, kind of throw back.
They are. They're going to give him. I think they're also going to let him do a beard thing too.
Well, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, again, I think DC is going the right direction. From what I can see, I think the movies are going the right direction.
And anyone who says that these movies are unsuccessful has not been paying attention to the box office. Because each of these movies, Man of Steel made a killing, Batman versus Superman made almost $1 billion, Suicide Squad made several $100 million.
I mean, it's up there, folks, and this movie made money.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of anyone thinks, it's like, yes, we all heard the whole thing. It's like, well, you put three of the biggest superheroes in the movie, of course, is going to make money. It's like, I still think this movie would have done better without Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman didn't even have to be there.
Well, in my opinion, and I do think they kind of maybe put too much, again, I think they put too much eggs in one basket for this movie, and I think that is a big criticism of it. But the actual scenes in the movie, and by the way, and the actors they got to play the secondary characters were really cool too. I love the guy who they got to play Alfred. You know, he does a voice for Scar.
Michael Caine.
Not Michael Caine. I can't think.
God.
I cannot think of this man's name, and I'm sorry, guys. But he was in Man in the Iron Mask. He played Aramis. He was so good.
Yeah, he was.
He's such a good actor. I thought he did a good job. The guy who played the comedian in Watchmen played the father of Bruce Wayne, which I thought he did a great job. He looked like him. As a matter of fact,
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, yeah. Jeremy Irons was a great Alfred. And I loved how Alfred, and see, something else I loved in this movie, I loved how Alfred was kind of he was the morale behind Bruce.
He's always been the person that always wants to kind of lead the way, but at the same time, he's not going to stop pulling a gun and shooting.
That's right.
Because he served in the war.
Yeah, Alfred's a bad butt, man. But but definitely, he is somebody that you don't want to mess with. But Alfred, I love in this movie because he's like, do you really know what you're doing? Do you have, he goes, you don't even know, and you won't have enough facts to do what you're about to do. And I think he made the awesome point. And there were so many other, good actors in this movie. But all in all, in my opinion, I give this movie an 8. Tim, what about you, buddy?
Well, a solid 8 is actually a reasonable score. Like I said, looking at this on a neutral standpoint,
yeah.
Yes, some things felt a little rushed, but overall, it felt like the story was told, and even with the poor casting choices, I thought I actually still liked the Lex Luthor, or like the mad scientist feel to him.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I liked it better than Avengers. I thought it was more epic.
And anything with Superman is going to be more epic.
Well, actually, I look forward to this movie more than I did Captain America: Civil War. In anticipation. And now is Captain America: Civil War. I can probably understand if people said they like Captain America: Civil War over Superman and Batman. I could probably.
Because you have Ant-Man, you have Spider-Man, you have Black Panther, you got the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, you got characters already.
It should have technically been Avengers, not Captain America.
Yeah, but and I could understand that thing, but again, I think this movie is still. I still think that this movie is canon, and it is good. And I'm actually happy with the direction it's going to go, and I think maybe the next movies are going to be better. If you've seen the trailer for Wonder Woman, I'm so hyped to see that movie. I'm really hyped to see Wonder Woman, and I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan, but I'm trying to become a fan. But it looks cool.
I still can't read it. Every time I read it, it's like, how does she fight in that outfit? It's like, I'm sorry, anyone who's a true warrior wears armor to cover themselves.
Yeah.
The whole design of Wonder Woman is just wrong.
Yeah.
But we need skin apparently.
Yeah. But
we need the ability to say, oh, look up her skirt.
Yeah. But anyway, so Tom, what was your rating on this movie, brother?
Probably a 9.
Okay, so Tom went up. And guys, I know what you're saying. Well, you're all
DC fans.
Yeah,
so what?
No, I've read. I read Marvel. I do try to read. I've been reading a lot more recently than I have been, and Captain America is actually sometimes harder to read than some things.
Yeah,
Avengers do complicated stories in there. Like I liked House of M. I like. I'm trying to actually go back and read a lot of this stuff because it's cornerstones of the universe.
That's right.
I really do wish that the X-Men stuff would actually fall into the other Marvel stuff, but Fox will never do it. But hey, they didn't really get involved in a lot of the story.
And understand, I don't hate Marvel, guys. I was a Marvel kid before I became DC, but
because you love Hulk, you love Fantastic Four.
I'm an X-Men fan too. I love X-Men. I do love Marvel, but I think I've come from where everyone else comes from. You get into the comic books because you like Marvel, but then when you pick up a DC comic and you actually start reading the characters, guys, they got depth too. And all it did was my cousin put a DC comic book out. It was Teen Titans. I read that thing, and all of a sudden it was like overnight. I changed from Marvel to DC that quick.
I'm actually reading Teen Titans right now.
Yeah, it was that good.
I used to read my brother's comic books, and I started liking Green Lantern after I saw how Jordan go crazy and Emerald Twilight, where he killed all the Green Lanterns and stepped into the battery, got the power of the. I thought that was awesome.
No,
I was like, this was a deep character with some psychological scars. He just lost his entire hometown to an alien attack.
So going towards the future, how do you feel with the fact they're not introducing Green Lantern in the Justice League?
I think it's a travesty. in my opinion, because I think Green Lantern is in the Justice League. Matter of fact, from everybody who doesn't know this, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman were not in the original Justice League, guys.
It was Martian Manhunter, Hal Jordan,
Aquaman,
Aquaman.
Black Canary was the girl of the group, and I think Green Arrow was actually the guy funding the group. Because back in the day, guys, they basically said they did not want Batman. I think it was they didn't want Batman.
Well, they did want Superman, but it was like, oh my god, it's like he is God among men.
Yeah, they didn't want Batman, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what people don't realize.
Batman was a vigilante.
Yeah, and I mean, and understand me now. I am a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern fan. I'm not a Hal Jordan.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tom's in that same boat. I wouldn't even. And honestly, you know, it's funny. Most people the Green Lantern know is John Stewart. You know,
mostly because of the animated series.
Yeah.
Because they needed I'm sorry to say, they needed a black guy.
Yeah, and I liked him. As a matter of fact, I had
no problem with that character. I like that.
No, John Stewart is one of the best Green Lanterns out there. I mean, but it's.
And he has multiple layers too. You know, he was cool.
I mean, yeah, he's previous military. He actually failed horribly in the Green Lantern Corps, but he's also succeeded everywhere.
And but again, you know, and I don't mind that if they actually, you know, I had one kid. One time I was talking to a guy, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, dude, there's a white Green Lantern." He didn't know, guys. He didn't know. But
it's like you need to go back and read.
The one thing I will give Marvel is they make me care about characters I didn't care about. Like, I didn't care about Doctor Strange for the movie, but it was a good movie.
Oh yeah, but if we actually talk about Marvel, it's actually a good thing that Marvel doesn't own the rights to the mutants, because everything will be about the X-Men.
That's right,
and everything will be about Avengers. We wouldn't have Guardians of the Galaxy. We wouldn't have a Black Cat. We wouldn't have a Black Panther movie coming out.
Yeah, I mean, and
which I will be one of the first to see.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing Marvel because Marvel's doing its job. You can say whatever you want to. People are liking Ant-Man. I mean, I think Ant-Man actually won an award.
We wouldn't have had Ant-Man. We would have, but I'm actually glad that we have Guardians now. I'm glad we have all of these other things coming. And seriously, no one would fall in love with Baby Groot.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I think that DC needs to take the idea that Marvel does, and you know, take a chance on these people that you don't know. Make a Flash movie. You know,
Flash movies coming out. Cyborg, Wonder Woman.
Make a good Green Lantern movie. You know what I'm saying? You know, Green Lantern, and this is my thing, folks. The Green Lantern movie.
Parallax, please.
Oh gosh, no.
He just needs to fight, or he needs to be inducted, trained. Because they won't have to redo the origin. But they literally should have had him go up. What he should have done in that first movie is he should have went up against. He should have had a. He had two villains.
Well, he should have met Sinestro. Sinestro should have trained him, and his first villain should have been a runaway like.
Oh, Kilowog trained.
Yeah, but I mean, like as a partner.
He always partnered up with Sinestro.
No, yeah.
Failed him.
Yeah, but the thing is, and then they should have chased a criminal. That should have been the movie. And I think that's why Green Lantern is not in these movies, because they said, oh, Green Lantern's a flop. He's not a flop. Green Lantern is a cool idea, but again...
They tried to do it too early as far as I'm concerned. And it made it dark. DC keeps making everything dark.
I mean, it's... You know, that summer, I said this. Marvel has 2 movies coming out. So, DC needed a home run. They needed a home run. That thing had to be good. It had to be good. And the one movie everyone was saying was going to be terrible was X-Men First Class. Me and Tom were saying that's going to be a terrible movie. But my gosh, man, you watch those X-Men movies and they're darn good. They get the idea of X-Men.
The only one that I really hated was the one that probably I would have stopped watching movies, but Last Thing.
X3.
X3.
But that's
even that. It's like they tied it all together with
Days of Future Past.
It's like even though it's a bad movie, they still made it part of the story overall. So
they fixed it.
It had to.
Oh yeah. But it's like I said, you know. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, guys. But to Tim, to your question, I think they should have Green Lantern because he's a cool hero. again, I think there should be more DC heroes that they should take a chance on because whether we like to believe it or not, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman don't encompass the DC universe.
Well, I kind of wish they'd actually use the TV series and kind of use with them the universe of creating actually the TV and the movies would be kind of combined.
That's the one place where DC's hitting home runs. Is
the TV series, because
Flash is excellent. People like Arrow, they maybe get.
I like Legends of Tomorrow.
Legend of Tomorrow is really good.
Supergirl, I hear that the comic sales have gone up from these people. Yeah, Supergirl.
Yeah, because I'm actually happy that Firestorm is getting some looks. And I'm really happy they're talking about bringing Booster Gold. Those are two of my favorite heroes.
Finally, I love Booster Gold. But that being said, guys, it looks like we're about coming to our time. Would anyone like to say anything else?
Let's rate each individual DC cinematic movie.
Oh, we only got the 3 officially, which is Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad.
Let's rate them all.
I'll go first. I think Man of Steel, in my opinion, I would give Man of Steel probably a 7, maybe an 8, higher than that, because it did have some bad scenes. However, they did do some questions. They answered me some questions with Superman, and I enjoyed it. And I also like that they didn't make Lois Lane an idiot. I'm going to go to Suicide Squad. I think Suicide Squad was a great one, and I loved it. I love everything about.
They made Captain Boomerang look cool. He was hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I kind of on Suicide Squad. I did love it, but I wish they just kind of cut Joker.
Yeah, I think
the incarnation of Joker. I hated it.
Yeah,
I didn't.
They made him a gangster.
I didn't mind it.
And I'm sorry, Joker is a freaking psychotic killer.
And he is smart. Joker is smart. He could run Gotham if he wanted to, but he's just crazy.
He wants to keep it fun.
Yeah, he wants. And so,
my thing with the Joker is, and this is going to be the tangent, but I think everyone wants Heath Ledger. We're not always going to get Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger ruined himself doing that role.
Oh, it's not even that. You go to the animated series, Mark Hamill's Joker. It's like, I'm sorry, it was great.
Yeah.
But I think this was at least an adequate Joker.
The game for Joker. Again, it was still Mark Hamill, but it was still good Joker. This is the Joker that everyone's expecting now. And all of a sudden we have gangster Joker. It's like, that's not.
I did not mind this version of the Joker.
But we could have cut him out completely, and it would not have changed the story at all.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really think you needed him, but I know why they put him in there, because they knew that him and Harley Quinn was going to sell Suicide Squad. And of course they had Batman in that movie too.
But this also makes it feel like Batman already knows about Suicide Squad, which set up a more current comic book storyline with Justice League versus Suicide.
Which had the ending scene where he's like,
For me, the movies I give Man of Steel an 8. I give, what did I say, 9 for
Batman v Superman.
Batman versus Superman, and I loved Suicide Squad. I didn't see a problem with it.
Oh, I think Will Smith hit that movie out of the park.
Yes, he did.
I think I gave that a 10. I really freaking like Suicide Squad.
What about you, Tim?
Well, I can't almost rate anything a 10, even though.
So 8 for Suicide Squad for you?
Yeah, because I think I told you before. It's how I rank movies is also how much I'd even spend to buy it and own it.
Oh yeah, that's me too.
But the higher the score is, like I would actually, if I gave something a 10, I would pay $100.
Yeah.
And I actually did pay $136 to get the Blu-ray Ultimate Edition of Superman.
No daggone, man.
Oh, which came with all of them and special features and everything. But that's 4 movies.
That's 4 movies. But and I'm going to give Suicide Squad. I think I want to give Suicide Squad an 8 as well.
I'm right there with. I'm like right 8.5.
Yeah,
it's like
he would almost be a 9. Really, it's going
like,
there.
If they kind of tinkered it just a little bit, because I know they did reshoots on it.
Yeah,
I like to know what they actually did to change it, but overall, it's like it gave us comedy, it gave us action, it gave us a decent story. Even though it's a recycled storyline, but it's still fun.
It's still fun. And again, guys, I think this one I want to try to get out. Guys, give DC Universe a shot, man. DC is good, man. The comic books are good. Right now, and they're also cheaper now.
You can like one better than the other, but don't hate one.
Get
the other.
and to the comic book fans, just get this in your head. It's never, ever, ever, ever going to be like the comic.
Please
No.
don't be like the PlayStation versus Xbox boys. They're both
It's like
have their strong points.
just appreciate the fact we live in a time period that we're getting all these freaking movies that are just feeding our geekdom.
That's right.
It's like, because if they're not being made, they're not being made at all. And it's like, we're bringing spotlights to all the characters we've always loved most of our
Well,
lives.
now we have more to watch than Lord of the Rings. Yay.
It's just like I said, it could be like the 90s was all over again, guys, because all we had is Batman. We had the Superman movies came out long before the 90s, and then we had like other movies, like what was it called? Like I don't know, I think the one was called like the Grasshopper, the Scorpion or something. That was a TV show. But again, they had the Shadow. I mean, they were grasping at
before
straws.
that, we had Green Hornet back in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
But just remember, Marvel, they failed first. Remember the Captain America on a motorcycle, the Spider-Man, the
Fantastic Four.
the Fantastic
God.
Four movie that was a good thing they never released.
Woo, yeah.
It's like, remember, the 70s and 80s were not a great time for Marvel.
Or Nick,
Except for Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That show was great.
and Nick Fury. I mean, Nick Fury, man. You think about that movie.
Oh,
I mean, it's terrible.
Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't mind that one as much. But the whole thing is, guys, just give it a shot, man. Just give it a shot. I guarantee you they're good. I mean, these comic books are good. DC is good. And actually, DC is cheaper, guys. I don't know about you, but that $3.99 kills me, man, every time I got to pay for Hulk. But anyway, so with that being said, anything you guys got to say, anything else?
No, let's go get them DC, go get them Marvel.
If I could get more money,
They're right.
I have started to love The Flash because of the television show. They've done such a good job that I would be collecting this comic book if I were not a poor teacher. I just don't know where to start.
Target only pays so much, people.
Well, hey, that's why I read a lot online. I know it's not exact. It's not great. I know it's not like buying them, but hey, there's sites online that are not illegal that I like. That lets me read a lot
of stuff.
But I say get out there, read. Actually, stop listening to critics, because guess what? Critics are bad.
That's right.
I'll follow your own opinion. Watch something and form your own opinion.
You know why a critic criticizes something, guys? Because they can't do it. And that's all I'm going to say.
I think every movie critic should have at least made more than home movies.
Dang right.
I think they should be former directors. Then they could have the right to say something.
I mean, yeah, but because we already seen those movies. Because I don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes at all.
Yeah.
They just don't do a very good job. Whatever critics they use are not good.
And guys, just remember, Rotten Tomatoes, I think they gave a 95 rating to Sharknado. I just want you to remember that every time you go to Rotten Tomatoes and go, these are the people that I want to build my opinion on.
And this is
Just
also
put that.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
One of the highest rated films of all time.
You know what?
And it's like, I'm sorry, it's you drive to one point in the desert, then you drive back. It's like, it's not that good.
I like that movie, but I didn't think it was a 95. I thought it was more of a 7, not a 10.
But always form your own opinions. And don't listen to everybody else. Watch it for yourself. Enjoy it for yourself.
And before we go off, guys, I just want to say, below this, hey, man, if you don't like our opinion on this movie, by all means, this is America. You have your right to speech. We just ask you not to be mean trolls. All right?
Oh, God, you're wrong. Ask for trolls on this.
I know, really. I was like, don't be a troll, guys.
Actually,
all right?
we need to boost our subscribership. If you want to troll us, do it.
Stop.
If you think we're horrible, let us know.
That's right.
If you think we're great and we need to keep going, let us know.
No, that's right. Give us a thumbs up.
If you actually-
how much we suck, recommend us.
If you want us to talk about something particular, let us know.
And remember, it's at Ring the Bell. All right. So, with me, this is Big Juice or Andrew McNeil signing off with my friend over here.
Tim. I'm Tim. My friends call me Tim. I'm Tiny Tim.
He's a newt, but he
victims call you master.
They call me Newt.
They changed him into a newt, but he got better.
I did.
And of course, Big Tomcat over here. All right. Have a good day, guys.